Hey everyone, and welcome to this deep dive. We're going to be talking about something super exciting today. Cellular repair using nutrition. And the best part, no supplements.
That's right. We're diving into real whole foods and how they can impact your health at the cellular level.
And to guide us through this, we have the expertise of Viktoriya and Oksana. They're really well known in the field of cellular nutrition, right?
Absolutely. What's fascinating about their approach is the speed at which they help people see results.
Oh, I've heard about that. Like people getting rid of symptoms in just 40 days.
Exactly. People who've tried so many other things and haven't found relief, it really speaks to the power of a targeted approach.
So are we looking at any specific examples of how this works in practice?
Yeah, we've got a YouTube transcript from someone named Lucy. She worked with Viktoriya and Oksana and had a pretty amazing transformation.
Okay, I'm intrigued. What was Lucy dealing with before she started this?
So from the transcript, it seems like she was dealing with a lot of recurring infections, UTIs, ear infections, laryngitis. It sounds like it was a constant battle.
Oh, that's rough. I can only imagine how draining that must have been for her.
Absolutely. These kinds of chronic infections can really take their toll on the body. And it's not just the discomfort. Think about how it throws off your body's balance.
It's like your system is constantly on high alert.
Exactly. And the transcript mentions she was on antibiotics pretty frequently, which, can lead to other problems down the line.
Yeah, that makes sense. Especially with all the talk about antibiotic resistance these days. Did Lucy mention anything about that?
She didn't specifically, but, it's a valid concern. Antibiotics are important when needed, but overusing them can lead to all sorts of unintended consequences.
Like what? What happens when you rely on them too much?
Well, one major thing is the disruption of your gut bacteria. It throws off the balance, and that can impact everything from your immunity to your digestion.
Wow, so it's a much bigger picture than just treating the immediate infection.
Absolutely. So back to Lucy, she starts working with Viktoriya and Oksana, and the transcript says she becomes symptom-free.
Wow, that's amazing. Did she talk about what the process was like?
She really valued the specific guidance they provided. Viktoriya and Oksana really took a personalized approach with her nutrition plan. It wasn't just some generic diet.
It sounds like Lucy appreciated that personalized touch. And it makes sense, right? Everyone's body is different, so why should everyone follow the same plan?
Precisely. And it goes beyond just what she was eating. It sounds like they also worked on creating a supportive structure for her.
Oh, I saw that in the transcript too. She mentioned loving the daily workbook and check-ins because they helped her stay on track.
Which is so important. It's easy to fall off track, especially when you're busy, but having that accountability can really make a difference.
And this is all with real food, right?
Yeah.
No crazy supplements or anything.
Exactly. That's what makes this so exciting. Viktoriya and Oksana are showing that you can achieve amazing results by simply focusing on nourishing your body with the right foods.
And it sounds like it wasn't just about getting rid of those infections. Did Lucy experience any other positive changes?
Definitely. The transcript mentions she lost weight, had more energy, and even her productivity went up.
Seriously. That's incredible. I'm starting to see why they call this cellular repair. It's like her whole body is benefiting.
Exactly. It's about addressing the root cause of the problem, not just masking the symptoms. And when you nourish your body at a cellular level, those benefits can ripple out to all areas of your life.
And this is where it gets really interesting. Lucy actually talks about her productivity skyrocketing. She even mentions something like a 100x return on her investment in the program.
Yeah, isn't that wild? It really makes you think about the connection between our health and our overall success. We often overlook how much our well-being impacts our ability to thrive in other areas of life.
Absolutely. I'm eager to dive deeper into what specifically Viktoriya and Oksana did with Lucy. I want to understand how they created such a dramatic shift in her health. What were those specific nutritional strategies?
Well, one key area they likely focused on was reducing inflammation. Chronic inflammation is a huge contributor to so many health issues, especially recurring infections.
I remember Lucy mentioning that too. She talked about headaches, stomach aches, and of course, those constant infections. It sounds like inflammation was a big problem for her.
Absolutely. So, by incorporating anti-inflammatory foods into Lucy's diet, Viktoriya and Oksana could have helped calm down her immune system and reduce those infections.
It's fascinating how food can have such a powerful impact on our bodies. Did Lucy have to give up everything she loved to eat to achieve these results? Because let's be real, no one wants to eat just kale and quinoa all day.
That's where the personalization comes in. It's not about deprivation, it's about finding a way to make healthy eating enjoyable and sustainable for each individual.
And the transcript mentions that Lucy was surprised by how easy it was to stick to the plan. She even said she can't imagine going back to her old way of eating. It sounds like those changes really resonated with her.
Exactly. And that's a great sign that the changes she made were not only effective, but also realistic and sustainable for her lifestyle. It's not about following a strict diet. It's about creating healthy habits that you can maintain long term.
So what are some examples of those anti-inflammatory foods that Viktoriya and Oksana might have recommended?
Well, they likely emphasized foods rich in antioxidants. They help neutralize those harmful free radicals in the body.
So it's a two-pronged approach, adding in the good stuff and reducing the not-so-good stuff.
Exactly. And again, this isn't a one-size-fits-all solution. Victoria and Oksana likely customized their recommendations for Lucy, taking into account her specific needs and goals.
That personalized approach seems to be their secret sauce. It's not just about handing someone a generic meal plan. It's about understanding their individual needs and crafting a plan that will work for them.
Exactly. And that's what makes this approach so powerful. It's not about quick fixes or fad diets. It's about making sustainable lifestyle changes that will support long-term health and well-being.
And speaking of sustainability, Lucy mentioned that she still enjoys going out and socializing. She just makes healthier choices now.
That's fantastic. It shows she's found a way to integrate these changes into her life without feeling restricted or deprived. And that's what it's all about, right? Finding a balance that works for you.
Exactly. And it's not just about the food itself. It's also about how we eat. I remember Lucy talking about Viktoriya and Oksana, encouraging her to practice mindful eating.
Oh, that's such an important piece of the puzzle. Mindful eating can really transform your relationship with food and improve your overall health.
What exactly does mindful eating involve?
It's about paying attention to your food, savoring each bite, eating without distractions, really tuning into your body's cues of hunger and fullness.
It sounds almost meditative, like bringing that same level of presence and awareness to your meals that you would to a meditation practice.
Exactly. It's about slowing down and truly experiencing the act of nourishing your body. And when you do that, you tend to make healthier choices and enjoy your food more.
So it's not just about what's on your plate, it's about the entire experience of eating.
Absolutely. And Lucy's transformation is a perfect example of what's possible when you combine a personalized nutrition plan with mindful eating practices.
It's incredibly inspiring. And what I find particularly encouraging is that Lucy achieved all of this without relying on any supplements. It really underscores the power of whole foods to nourish and heal our bodies.
Right. Nature truly provides us with everything we need. And sometimes the simplest approach is the most effective.
It sounds like Viktoriya and Oksana have mastered the art of using food as medicine. Their approach is science-backed, personalized, and clearly delivers remarkable results.
It's a shining example of what's possible when we prioritize our health and well-being.
Absolutely. And before we wrap up this part of our deep dive, I want to circle back to something that really stood out in Lucy's story, her incredible ROI.
It's remarkable, isn't it? A 100x return on her investment, largely due to her increased productivity and the fact that she was no longer losing days to illness.
Exactly. It's a powerful reminder that investing in our health isn't just an expense. It can pay dividends in multiple areas of our lives.
That's such a great point. We often think of health investments in terms of doctor's visits or gym memberships, but we don't always factor in the cost of lost productivity due to illness.
Right. And for Lucy, those recurring infections meant missing work and losing income. Getting her health back allowed her to be more present and productive.
That's a great reminder that prioritizing our well-being can have a significant impact on our ability to show up fully in our work and other commitments.
It's not just about financial gains. It's about the time and energy we gain back when we're not constantly battling health issues. That newfound vitality can be channeled into our passions, our relationships, and all the things that make life meaningful.
Absolutely. Lucy's journey is a beautiful illustration of how prioritizing our health can create a ripple effect of positive changes in all aspects of our lives.
And with that thought, we'll wrap up this part of our deep dive into Lucy's incredible transformation.
Be sure to join us for part 2, where we'll explore even more about the science behind cellular repair, those specific strategies, and how you can apply these principles to your own life.
Welcome back to our deep dive into cellular repair through nutrition. We left off talking about Lucy's incredible transformation, and now we're going to dig a little deeper into some of those strategies that might have been part of her plan.
Yes, I'm really curious to unpack some of that, especially since she achieved all of this in just 40 days. It's pretty remarkable, isn't it? And one area they likely focused on? Gut health.
Right. Because of all those antibiotics.
Exactly. Think about it. She was taking antibiotics so often, and those can really disrupt the balance of your gut microbiome.
Yeah, it makes sense. It's like throwing off the whole ecosystem in there.
That's a great way to put it. And when your gut is healthy, it can impact so many other aspects of your health. Your immune system, nutrient absorption, even inflammation levels.
So it's really a foundational piece of the puzzle.
Absolutely, and that's why taking a holistic approach is so important. Viktoriya and Oksana likely looked at Lucy's health from all angles, not just her diet, but also things like her sleep, stress levels, all of it.
Yeah, it's a good reminder that health isn't just about what we eat, it's about our whole lifestyle.
Speaking of which, let's talk a bit about the process of cellular repair itself. Our bodies are constantly renewing and repairing themselves. It's pretty amazing.
So even when we're not actively doing anything, our bodies are working hard behind the scenes.
Exactly. Every day, our cells are exposed to damage from things like environmental toxins, stress, the natural aging process.
Wow, that's a lot to deal with.
It is. But luckily, our bodies have these incredible self-healing mechanisms.
That's reassuring.
Cellular repair is basically the process of identifying and repairing that damage so our cells can function at their best.
It's like our bodies have these tiny little repair crews working around the clock.
I love that analogy. And like any good crew, they need the right tools. And that's where nutrition comes in.
Makes sense. And remember how Lucy talked about feeling tired all the time before? Well, the transcript says her energy levels went way up after working with Viktoriya and Oksana.
That's amazing. It's like her cells were finally getting the nourishment they needed to function properly.
And when our cells are happy, we're happy.
Exactly. That boost in energy can have a domino effect on our mood, our productivity, our overall sense of well-being.
It's all connected.
It is. And what's really inspiring is that Lucy achieved all of this without relying on any supplements.
It really shows the power of real whole foods.
Absolutely. And it seems like Viktoriya and Oksana have a real knack for tapping into that power.
Their approach is so inspiring. They're helping people unlock their body's natural healing abilities through food.
And they do it in a way that's both scientific and intuitive. They really understand the human body and how to support it.
Okay, before we move on, I want to go back to something Lucy mentioned about their approach. She loved how prescriptive it was.
Yes. That's a really key element. They take away the guesswork by providing very specific instructions. It's tailored to each person's individual needs.
So it's like getting a personalized roadmap to optimal health.
Exactly. And that can be so empowering, especially for people who feel overwhelmed or lost when it comes to nutrition.
That's like having a personal health coach in your corner.
And remember how Lucy raved about the daily workbook and check-ins? Those were important for keeping her accountable and on track.
Yeah, that structure can be so helpful. Life gets busy, it's easy to slip up.
Absolutely. And it sounds like Viktoriya and Oksana provided the perfect balance of structure and support.
It's amazing to see how those simple tools can make such a big difference.
And Lucy's transformation is a testament to that. She's a shining example of what's possible when you have the right guidance and support.
Her story is truly inspiring. It reminds us that we all have the power to take control of our health and create positive change.
And we'll continue that conversation in part 3, where we'll shift our focus to you, the listener.
And we're back for the final part of our deep dive. It's been so fascinating exploring Lucy's story and the power of cellular repair through nutrition.
It really has. And now it's all about bringing it home to you, our listeners. How can you take what we've learned and apply it to your own lives? And, another thing that really helped Lucy was having that accountability.
Right, she loved those regular check-ins and using the workbook that Viktoriya and Oksana provided.
Having that external support can make a huge difference. Could be a friend, a family member, or even an online community. Find someone who can cheer you on and help you stay motivated.
Or even consider working with a health coach. It sounds like having that personalized guidance and support from Viktoriya and Oksana was a game changer for Lucy.
Absolutely. Having someone in your corner who understands your goals and can provide that expert advice can really accelerate your progress.
And while we've been focusing on nourishing our bodies through food, we can't forget about nourishing our minds and souls too. Self-care is such a crucial piece of this puzzle.
It really is, and that's something we often neglect. But things like getting enough sleep, managing stress, doing things that bring us joy, these are all essential for our overall well-being.
They're not luxuries, they're necessity.
Exactly. And they don't have to be grand gestures. Even just 5 minutes of meditation or a walk in nature can make a world of difference.
So listeners, I challenge you to find at least one small way to practice self-care today. It could be anything, just something that nourishes your soul.
And as we wrap up our deep dive, I want to ask you, What's the biggest takeaway from you? What resonated the most from Lucy's story?
For me, it's the reminder that we have more control over our health than we often realize. Our genes and our past experiences don't have to dictate our future. We have the power to make choices each day that support our well-being.
Absolutely. And Lucy is living proof of that. She shows us that positive change is possible. We all have that innate healing potential within us.
So here's my final thought for you. What if prioritizing your health wasn't just about feeling better physically, but about unlocking your full potential in every area of your life?
What if it was about having the energy to chase your dreams, the mental clarity to make those big decisions, and the emotional resilience to navigate life's challenges?
When we nourish ourselves, we nourish our entire being. And that's a journey worth taking.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive. We hope you feel inspired and empowered to take charge of your health journey.
Remember, you have the power to create a life filled with vitality, energy, and joy. Start small, be consistent, and watch the magic unfold. Until next time, stay curious, stay healthy, and keep diving deep.